Hello everyone, I'm Rashmi Mangla. I'm working as an assistant professor for the BBA department of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. The subject that I'll be taking up today is e-commerce. This is our 11th lecture for e-commerce. The topics that we'll be covering today are IT infrastructure, IWay network, components of IWay, ISP, factors to be considered while selecting an ISP, middleware contents, and middleware infrastructure in the IT architecture. So we'll see them one by one. Now first, IT infrastructure or e-commerce infrastructure. See, information technology infrastructure is defined broadly as a set of information technology components that are the foundation of an IT service, like typically physical components, for example computer and networking hardware and facilities, but also various software and network components. So all in all, it is a set of information technology wherein we have physical components and various software and network components also. Then enterprise IT infrastructure, it typically refers to components required, as we studied just now. It refers to all the components that are required for the existence, operation and management of an enterprise IT environment. So in order to exist, in order to operate, in order to manage an enterprise, whatever components are required by an enterprise, that is called IT infrastructure. Now all these hardware, software, network facilities, etc. that are required to develop or test or monitor or control or support the IT services, they all are covered under the things that are required. Now let's see the next one, that's IWay network infrastructure for e-commerce. Now see, as we already know, electronic commerce, it needs a network infrastructure to transport the content, data or audio, visual, text, animation, so on. So for transporting all of this information, a infrastructure, a network infrastructure is required, and this network infrastructure is provided by the IWay or information superhighway. So the information superhighway may be defined as high capacity electronic pipeline to a consumer or business premises that is capable of simultaneously supporting a large number of e-commerce applications and providing interactive connectivity between users and services and between users and other users. So a connectivity is provided. Users can connect with the with the person who's providing the services, and users can even connect with amongst themselves, that is user to user connectivity is also available. Now the IWay has emerged as the basic network infrastructure for all types of e-commerce activities due to its capability, because it is capable to provide integrated voice and data and video services, and it has also changed the way the business advertises, markets or sell their products and services. Now let's see the components of IWay. Now broadly, IWay has three components, that is network access components, network access equipments which are a part of component, local on-ramps and global information distribution network. Let's see them one by one. First one, network access equipments. Now it is also called consumer access equipment. It is a telephonic terminal equipment which reside at the customer site. Now it is there at the customer site and is connected to the public switched telephone network, that is PSTN. It is connected to that. Now hardware and software vendors who provide like set-top boxes, computers, switches, hub, router or software platform, they all are part of network access equipments. Now local on-ramps. It refers to wiring and linking between homes, communities, schools and business with backbone required of huge investment, and these are also known as last mile. Now all the local on-ramps, they link between homes or communities or schools, and the main thing that is required is huge investment. Now they are divided into four main categories. They can be specialized mobile radio system or cable TV based infrastructure or wireless infrastructure or maybe commercial online infrastructure. Now wireless infrastructure, for example, we have the digital technology like 2G, 3G or 4G. Then commercial online infrastructure, it can be like very small aperture terminal like VSAT. It is a satellite communication system that serves home and business users. Let's see the next one. That is the Global Information Distribution Network. Now, Global Information Distribution Network are the infrastructure that are connecting countries and continents. So, they basically connect countries or different continents, and they are basically called the long distance networks, or they can be satellite networks, because in order to connect countries, satellite is the most prominent network that we use. So these are the components, three main components of IWA. Now let's see the next one, Internet Service Provider or ISP. Now, an ISP is an organization that provides services for accessing, using or participating in the internet. See, early ISPs provide internet through dial-up modems. Now this type of connection, the dial-up modems, what was there was, it took place over regular phone lines, and it was limited to some approx like 56 kbps. And in the late 1990s, what happened was ISPs, that is internet service providers, they began offering faster broadband internet access via DSL and cable modems. And now at present, some ISPs, they now offer high-speed fiber connections which provide internet access through fiber optic cables. Now, some of the prominent internet service providers are, as we can see, AT&T, Comcast, Verizon, Cox or NetZero. So these are the common internet service providers. And they may be wired directly to a home or business, or beamed wirelessly via satellite or other technology. So anyways, they can provide you the network systems. Now let's see the factors that have to be considered while selecting an internet service provider. See, the main goal that we should have in choosing one ISP is that it offers a steady and consistent connection without disruption as well as speed. See, when you choose the Wi-Fi connections for your home also, you check that what is the speed they are offering, what is the plan, and like if you want to change, how frequently you can change the plan, what is the speed in the plan. So everything needs to be checked, and that the connection should be consistent and there should be no disruption in between. So there are four main factors that we have to consider while choosing the internet service provider. First one is location. See, you have to find an ISP in your local area so that you don't need to pay STD charges. Then second is connections. Now it's important that ISP that you choose, it has enough modems to handle all incoming calls. When you're shopping around, ask how many customers per modem the ISP has. So it should have proper number of modems. Then download performance or speed. The link your ISP has to internet and modem connection rates affect the performance you get. Now while when you have larger internet service providers, they tend to have good links to large internet information pipelines, whereas small internet service providers can have connection just good connection. Maybe they're not having very good links as compared to the larger ones. Then the last factor that we have to keep in mind is cost. Now a cheap ISP may not give you a good performance and vice versa. When you compare cost to performance, you may be better off selecting a slightly pricier ISP if it means you would not have to spend as much time on the internet. See, maybe you are paying a little higher, but if the speed is more, so obviously it will save your time. So you should not go for a cheaper one, you should go for the one which is effective for you, which saves your time, and as well as it is not very high, like very priceless, or very pricey also, not priceless. So these are the factors that we have to consider while selecting an internet service provider. The next topic is middleware contents. Now middleware, it is a software which lies between an operating system and the applications that are running on it. So that software, which is between both of them, is called middleware, and essentially functioning as hidden translation layer. It is a hidden layer in between. Middleware enables communication and data management for distributed applications, and it is sometimes called plumbing as it connects two applications together, so data and databases can be easily passed between the pipe. So we also call it plumbing because it connects the two applications and makes the transfer of data easy and smooth. Now some common middleware examples are like database middleware, application server middleware, or message oriented middleware, web middleware, etc. Now the middleware infrastructure that is required in the IT architecture. Now there are basically three middleware layers that make up the middleware infrastructure. First one is network oriented middleware, second one is core middleware service, and third one is application oriented middleware service, which we also call as APOware. Let's see them one by one. First one, network oriented middleware services. Now the core middleware services at the boundary of the network layer lie a number of services that can be classified as middleware based networking or network oriented middleware. Second one, core middleware services. Now these are those on which all other middleware services depend on. These are the bases on which the others depend, like identifiers, authentication, directories, or certificates or authorization. So on these, the others depend on these services. Then the last one is application oriented middleware services. Now there are numerous services that applications would like to have provided for them rather than having to perform these functions themselves. They don't want to perform the function themselves, so they would like to provide rather the other services. So these are divided into three parts: business application middleware, research application middleware, and ubiquitous application middleware. So these are the middleware infrastructure that are required in the IT architecture. Now let's see the questions which are based on today's topic that we've covered. What is IT infrastructure and what are components of it? What do you mean by internet service provider? Which factors will you consider while choosing your internet service provider? What are the layers that make up the middleware infrastructure? Stay tuned for the upcoming lectures. Thank you.